Hello everyone, it's Hanny with my Junk Journal Embellishment Challenge number 80. And the prompt is matches. And that can be a lot, I think. I think matches, well, these things, I guess. And matches that can be some kind of games, competitions. I don't know how you call that. I think that are matches. I'm not sure. And well, it can match. It matches. It fits. I think that's three meanings of matches. I'm not sure, but I'm going to do something with those thingies. And the suggestion is, or the optional prompt is to make a tuck spot. Well, I found this matches and I thought, well, I can glue them on in the middle just like that, and I have a tuck spot. Well, that's too easy. I'm not going to do that, but what I'm going to do is make my own matches thingy. Little envelope. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardstock. I have to have a bigger piece, and I'm going to measure this, and I can measure with a ruler. I will measure it for you. It's 4 centimeters and it's 1.5 inches wide, and the length you get from me when I cut it out, well, I just do it this way here, and well, this is going to be a bit longer. Well, that's the bottom, and that's going to be here. That's this piece, all the length, and this little piece. So I'm going to cut that with my little cutting machine, if it fits. Yes, that fits. The measurements don't have to be exact, and I think it was, well, I'm all kinds of marks here. It was this one. So that's the piece of cardstock I'm going to use. That's okay. Yeah. And that's in centimeters, 11 centimeters, or in inches, 4 3/4 inch, I think. Yes. Now I'm going to mark the folds. Well, here is a fold, and there's another fold. Here, you see, 2 folds. And here is a fold. There is one. And that's at 4 centimeters and 4.7 millimeters. So 47 millimeters, and the last one is 9.5 centimeters here. And in inches, that will be, well, 1, 2, I have to count, sorry. 1, oh, I can't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eighth, 5 of an eighth, I think. 1, 5 of an eighth, and 7 of an eighth, and this is 3/4 inch. Well, that's the measurements, and I'm going to fold that with my little hoops, my folding bone. Here it is. So I'm going to, here's one mark. I'm going to fold that one and those two, this one and this one. So this is going to be my match box, something like that. Well, I think this is a bit too wide. I'm not sure if I want it that wide. Yeah, it could be a bit smaller, this. So I'm going to make another fold. Sorry for that, but I think it's a bit too thick. And that fold, I'm going, the back fold. Can I do that? No, the front. So I'm going to do it a bit smaller. I think I'm going to, well, not halfway, but almost halfway. You see, I'm not going to use that fold, but that fold. Because otherwise it's a bit too thick for in my journal, too bulky, and I don't want that. So this is a little space, a little spine of, well, 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. So that's, I can cut off a little bit, little piece of, well, I'm not sure. Well, I'll leave it this way. I'm going to use a few matches. I don't know how much, but these are a bit too thick too, I guess. Or maybe not, but could do that. Maybe I could try to make it a bit flatter just by doing this. So, oh yeah. Well, I think I'm going to try that to make the matches a bit more flatter. So I'm going to do that. So I did a few matches. Well, this is a wonky one. So how many do I have? Oh, I have another one here. they fit. I'm going to glue them in like so. Maybe I'm going to cut them a little short. Because they are a bit too long. Like that. I'm going to glue those in, but the first thing I'm going to do is make this little strip. Well, I can cut a little piece out of here. Let's do that. Just a strip. It's a bit too thick, so well, I'm going to cut the width. Something like that. And I think it's a bit too thick. So I'm going to try to pull that off so it will be a bit thinner. So I'm going to glue that on like so. Like so. Let that dry. And then I'm going to glue the matches in. So these are flat matches, so I made them a bit flatter than they normally are. So they don't have the same size anymore, but well, that disappears under the flap. So I'm going to glue those in. Just like this. Maybe a few here. I don't want to have a full box. This is enough. Something like that. Well, oh, that has to dry. I'm going to let that dry for a bit. And when it's dry, I'll be back. So, it's not quite dry, but I did this. And then I saw that my strip was there and it has to be over there. So I pulled it out off again and I'm going to glue it on there. I did it the wrong way. So I'm going to glue it on there. So when you glue it on, when you want to make one and you glue it on the end of the whole thing. And now, well, this is okay. And now I have this thing, and I'm going to do it this way. Well, that has one too, so I'm going to do. Well, and now my matchbox is, well, almost ready. Not dry yet, so it has to dry. And what I'm going to do now is to decorate this a bit, because, well, it's a bit dull this way. So I'm going to try to decorate that a bit when it's dry. That fits. That fits. So I leave it this way for a while so to dry. Well, I found this old matchbox, but it's, well, it's, well, I can't find the word, but you see what, in what state it is. But it's a very famous match brand in our country. It's from Sweden. Uddevalla, he said, but I thought it was Jönköping. Well, I'm not sure, but I thought, well, maybe I can use a piece of that. It's this bird. Yeah, we call it zwaluw. I don't know what the word is in your language. I will look it up and then I put it in somewhere on the screen. I would like to glue that on, but, well, it's too big for that. I think I'm going to, the swallow, it's on here. The zwaluw, it's on here. So I'm going to cut this piece off in some way. I'm going to use that piece. And maybe make it a bit thinner again, because it's very thick. Well, that's easy. I could use a piece of that. And just make a little collage, something like that. Can glue this on. Well, I will look for some more items. Maybe I have a Swedish stamp I can use. Well, I will look for some stuff and I'll be back. Well, I gathered a few things. This one, and I have a red stamp from Sweden. Well, I think maybe that fits. And I found a sort of pipe. Oh, you smoke with that. That's all I could find. Well, what has to do with fire or matches. And I have some painted paper. Well, I thought I could put a piece. It's a bit fireish here. This is a nice piece, so I will use a piece of this. To make it a bit smaller. And I will make a little collage on here. So I will lay it flat. I won't do the back. let's glue it on. Just the whole background. Where is my glue stick? Here is my glue stick. I'm going to glue the whole thing on here, a bit on the back. Could do it this way, or this way, or this way, or this way. I think I have to do it this way, something like that. So like I said, the back I don't care, because I'm gluing it on the page as a tuck spot. So this is enough. So this will be the front. Maybe I could glue a little piece on here too. Let's do that. Just a little piece. Well, I have to cut it straight. That piece is too small, I think. Oh, I can use that. Well, I will use that. It's a bit too small, but can't see that. Okay, like so. I'm going to put that in there. Oh, stay put. And a little piece of this somewhere. The stamp, Swedish stamp. Maybe I only use this piece. The swallow. Cut it straight, honey. How difficult can that be? Yeah, like that. And the pipe. Well, it's a big pipe. Do we call that a pipe? I don't know how you call that. We call it a pipe. But maybe it doesn't fit, I'm not sure. It's a rub-on. Well, I can cut it out. Let's do that. So I have only to deal with that little piece and not the whole thing. So I can, it's a bit big, isn't it? Could do it that way. And then that a bit higher. Something like that. Yeah, let's do that. I'm glowing. Sorry, I'm a bit tired lately. I had a very tough year. Everything is okay, but well, I don't have much energy anymore. That's why I have not that much videos. I guess. So, there. And now I hope that the rub-on works. How does that work? Oh, this way. So the swallow, you can't read it anymore then. Maybe a bit more like this. Well, that's okay. Can I do it with this thingy? I hope so. Oh, I don't know if that succeeds. Maybe I should lay it flat. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, bingo. Well, I think it's okay now. Just securing my glue again. So, little bit glue over there. Just put my finger on it for a while. So, well, this is my little matchbox. Yeah, this is it. And does it work? I guess it works. Oh, it's a bit loose. It works. Shouldn't do that. Well, maybe I could do a little corner. Well, maybe that's a bit too dangerous. Not going to do that. I have a little piece of here just burned off. So this is all my matches. The real one and the one I made. And now I'm going to glue it in my journal somewhere as a tuck spot. Just finding a place. That's the belly band. Maybe on here. And then I can tuck something under, but I'm not sure what yet. Just glue it in the middle. And I'm going to do it a bit high. Not at the bottom, because I can stick something underneath and around it. So just glue it on, hold it for a while. And then I can tuck things like that underneath. Well, this is my matchbox, little match, well, it's not a box, but match thingy envelope. And it's a tuck spot. Thank you for watching. Bye.